There are scammers everywhere in the TCG world, and that isn't limited to just Pokemon. That is with sports cards, Lorcana, Magic the Gathering. Every single TCG space, unfortunately, is littered with tons and tons of scammers. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on a massive Pokemon scam. And yes, this is a really big one, and I feel very bad for the guy that got caught up in this. The clip that I'm about to show you is going to be about 2 minutes long, so buckle in. You know, it's a little longer than the usual 30-second ones we check out. But I think it's really important to talk about this and to take a look at what happened here. I'm Terrible Shoes. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and let's take a look at what happened here and what we can do to possibly prevent it in the future.
I got scammed purchasing $5,000 worth of cards off Yahoo Auctions. Yahoo Auctions is basically Japanese eBay. I purchased 14 of these stamp boxes, which are supposed to include these sealed stamp box promo cards. And unfortunately, to my horror, 3 of the boxes came with these pre-sleeved, opened, fake Pokemon cards. There's a side-by-side of the back of a real one and a fake one. I mean, they look pretty authentic. Just the coloration is slightly darker. And I don't know, they just feel thicker. These are the real ones that I'm going to be keeping sealed because they're a little bit off-center. These 6, obviously, I've opened up a credit card dispute and I'm trying to get my money back, so hopefully Chase protects me. Because unfortunately, Yahoo Auctions does not care if your product isn't authentic when it arrives. It's not like eBay where you get your money back. They're sealed boxes, so there's only one image of the product sealed. So obviously, if they replace it with fake cards, I can't do anything. So I'm opening that dispute. The rest of these cards I'm going to be submitting to BGS, hoping for that black label. 9 of the Pikachus, and then 7 of the Cramorants. All those had excellent centering. And I'm going to be selling these 2 just because they're slightly off center. I mean, they're still good enough to get PSA 10s, but they won't get the BGS 10s. So I'm going to be either grading them with PSA or just selling them individually. And then also selling these 2 just because these are off center. And then, I don't know, I'm just so disappointed. Like, I had no idea that Bai, the proxy service, and Yahoo Auctions Japan didn't protect their customers. I purchased 30 something of these stamp boxes. I just can't believe they don't have a policy to protect the buyer when they get scammed like this. And unfortunately, Bai actually just gives them a positive feedback right away. So I can't even let future buyers know that that seller is a scammer. So definitely be aware and, you know, protect yourself. I mean, hopefully these come back. I get a couple BGS 10s. So hopefully I get a few and that makes up for the loss. A little bit disappointing. It could have been worse. So hopefully the credit card dispute works out. As always, guys, stay blessed and know you are loved.
Right, so what we watched there was actually very difficult to watch, and it's a very, very sad situation all around. This man did not actually go on Whatnot like we usually talk about. This was an eBay purchase. He purchased multiple specialty boxes that were from the Pokemon Center over across the pond from us in Japan. And unfortunately, he got scammed, and he got scammed out of a lot of money, as you can see here. That is over $5,000 worth of trading cards that were not real, resealed, and had things removed from them. And we see this unfortunately happen a lot of the time now with these specialty boxes that are exclusive to the Pokemon Center over in Japan, or boxes that are exclusive to other countries. In this one, as you can see, the fakes look incredibly real, but there was some very obvious giveaways that they weren't, such as the way that they were packaged and the way that things were not in the boxes the way they are normally when you open them from a factory seal. I actually have a funny story about this one. A couple years ago on YouTube, I can't really remember the name of the account. I watched a YouTuber who I really liked. He opened up one of the Luigi Pikachu boxes from way back in the day. And now these go for a lot of money now, as the cards inside alone go for well over $2,500. And that is just the 2 promos. And right through the get-go, you could tell the box was fake. The promos were not sealed the way they were when I opened them way back when these dropped. and they just didn't look right. It didn't feel right. And unfortunately, this guy also got scammed out of a couple of $1,000 buying this box. It's very sad to see this keep happening over and over and over again. And like I've discussed in many other videos, fakes are getting incredibly convincing to the point where they look almost real. There are so many varying degrees of fakes now, from the very obvious dollar store packs where they look as though they're printed on toilet paper, to what you're seeing in these videos where the proxies look so real that you could slip them into the original packaging, reseal it, and it might actually fool somebody who is uneducated on the subject. There is not a lot I can personally add to this discussion outside of, if you are going to make a large purchase like this, I highly recommend doing something like this in person, or doing something like this over an app like PayPal that can back you up if the cards are fake. And you also need to do a ton of research, and I really hate to say this, but it's on every little thing, from how the shrink wrap looked on the original packaging to how the cards are sealed inside the box. You really need to educate yourself on especially on huge purchases like this. We see this a lot with English Elite Trainer boxes as well. I actually myself in the past have been scammed by purchasing an Elite Trainer box that I did not know was resealed, because I didn't know the signs back then. And the sign that actually ended up fooling me, unfortunately, was the seam on the side of the trainer box was not properly sealed. And if I had looked a little closer at that back then, I would have been able to tell it was a scam before the customer could vanish. I unfortunately never got my money back because they were smart enough to leave maybe 1 or 2 lowball hits. We know what these guys do. They weigh the packs. They use these crazy machines to see what's inside of them. They use metal detectors. They use everything humanly possible to scam the people they're selling to now. And it's just really crazy. So the best thing you can honestly do in these situations is look up the product you're buying beforehand, check out what all of the original packaging looks like, down to how the sleeves are even packed in the box, and educate yourself on these things before making a big purchase. And the only other thing I can recommend is trying to do these kinds of big sales in person. And I know that's very inconvenient for a lot of people, but it is one of the safest ways to make sure you are not scammed. And even then, with all these precautions, you can still get scammed, and it's very sad to see. I really hope this individual got all his money back. I'm really hoping that for him, because that is just really, really crazy what happened. And I really hope that all of you out there don't wind up getting scammed this way either. It's never good to see people in this community lose out money unless they are the scammers themselves. Those are the only people I like to see lose, not the collectors or players, because I think that is just, it just isn't right. You know, it doesn't feel right to see something like, even if the person is a complete ass in the community, like is a jerk to everyone, I still wouldn't want to see them lose money. It's just very upsetting that this community has been overtaken by so many scammers and people who treat it like a stock portfolio as opposed to cards that are meant to be played with, or fancy pieces to display in a binder, basically. And that is really it. I really hope to see this kind of stuff trickle downward in the following years. Not really sure how likely that is with how many new people have entered this hobby and how many new people are entering this hobby every day. Pokemon is at its highest level of popularity, in my opinion, ever. And that is coming from somebody who's been here since Red and Blue. And even with the Pokemon craze back then, we still have never seen Pokemon at this level of popularity. And I know that there's some people that are going to put the nostalgia cap on and say that that's not true, but you're wrong, because Pokemon was and never will be this popular again. That is, unless, of course, it just continues to trend upward, which I believe, unfortunately, it is going to. So while we're going to have very high value cards for a very long time, we're still going to be seeing a lot of stuff like this. That's really all I have to say about this particular situation. Again, I hope this guy gets his money back, and I hope all of you out there do not get scammed the way that this guy did. I'm Terrible Shoes. Thank you for watching me today. Hit the like and subscribe button, and tell me down below if you've ever gotten scammed, if you know somebody that's ever gotten scammed, and if they've ever been able to wiggle out of it and get their money back, or get back at the seller who scammed them. Just let me know that down below if you have any stories of your own, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for checking me out, and thank you for the support.